Hello everyone. Now today we are starting with week 5 of our people management module. Let's see what we are going to cover today. So get into your groups. In week 3 I asked you to develop a group constitution and assign roles. Let's review them. And then we will discuss about the individual report which you will be going to make for this module, and it's a 4,000 word report, as I already told you about this in week 1. So this report is divided into two parts, where first is case study, which is of 2,500 words, and second one is self-reflection, which is of 1,500 words. So in case study, you have to select one company. And the structure is given. First will be introduction and context, theoretical framework, application of theories, analysis and discussions, conclusions and recommendations. And part B will be self-reflection, which will be 1,500 words. In this also you have to write introduction and context, theoretical framework, application of theories, analysis and discussion, conclusion and recommendation. And you have to write references for both parts, list of figures, list of tables and appendices. Now plan for report. So as you have done your week 4 post-class activity, in the same way you have to plan your report, and students have to write a plan for the report individually in class. And firstly, write a plan for case study by selecting a specific company, which is of 500 words. And secondly, write a self-reflection in brief of 300 words. And after this, submit it to me. So now we have strategy in the direction and scope of the organization. And you can see, so strategy is the direction and scope of organization over the long term, so ideally which matches its resources to its changing environment, and in particular it markets customers or clients so as to meet stakeholder expectations. Strategic concerns of HR. So strategic concerns are old or new. So traditional concerns are also there, and contemporary concerns. So traditional are recruitment and retention, training and development, legal compliance and diversity, employee relation and trade unions, performance management and appraisals and rewards. And contemporary concerns are creating value for customers through HR, delivering the right employees and behaviors, enabling a flexible and adaptable organization, efficiency and value for money in delivering HR processes. Now we have a class activity on strategic human resources. In a group of 2 to 3 members, find out at least 4 roles of strategic human resources. And time for this is 15 minutes. So strategic contexts are market practice, people, culture, leadership, performance, promoting teamwork, system, vision, mission, and business strategies. Now we will see supply of labor. So the amount of labor measured in person hours offered for hire during a given time period. So internal supply of labor from workplace, like you can see, strategically organizations that focus on internal supply tend to see people as asset with the long-term development value rather than cost in terms of annual expenditure. So external supply of labor that takes place when suitable internal replacements are not available. So a growing number of firms are using computerized human resource information system to track the qualification of hundreds or thousands of employees. So factors affecting supply of labor are internal factors and external factors. And now we have a class activity. In the group of 2 to 3 members, find out at least 2 internal factors and 2 external factors affecting the supply of labor. And the time for this activity is 15 minutes. Now we can see some of the internal factors and external factors affecting supply of labor. So internal factors are recruitment policies, human resource planning, size of the firm, cost of recruitment, growth and expansion. And external factors are supply and demand, labor market, unemployment rate, competitors, political, social, legal environment. Now we have lack of skilled labor. So the only thing stopping me from servicing these clients is good people, said Mr. Nelber. The company needs to find a clever carpenter who can both serve as foreman and do carpentry work. For every clever carpenter I could find, I could stop turning down a job he needed. So productivity has been particularly poor in construction industry. As you can see, construction of the building is going down and whole economy is going up. So UK's productivity gap, had we not suffered from such a significant downturn in our productivity, almost the same level as it was 10 years ago, we would be almost 20% better off, and austerity would not be needed. So how can SHRM assist in turning this trend around? Now we have a class activity. Let's do the case study. Read the case study and answer the questions which are given in the case study. So the time for this is 30 minutes, and case study is given in your LTU Moodle. So you have to open LTU Moodle week 5 and live in class activity. Now we have conclusion. So there are a number of generic strategies and generic approaches to these strategies. Companies are not bound to achieve higher output by following them. Systematic factors are undermining UK productivity, and therefore the efficacy of some of the stock answers to SHRM problems. Answer is complex, but investment in labor force going to be key in future, especially as UK borders tighten post-Brexit. Now we finish over here for week 5, and now we will start with week 6. So let's start with week 6 slides. So here I will start with week 6, and in week 6 we are going to study about hard and soft HRM structure and culture. So let's get started now. So how do we create high performance in organizations? So there are hard HRM and soft HRM. So hard HRM is competitive advantage, increased employee effort, focused on individual employee productivity and organizational performance objective. It's task focus, organizational structure, managerial control. On the other side, if you will see soft HRM, human dimensions of managing people, enhance employee satisfaction, emphasizes on individual experience, employee engagement itself as a primary objective, and it's people focused, organizational culture, empowerment, and engagement. So hard as soft HRM. So hard HRM focused on the resource features of HRM and sought to gain competitive advantage through increased employee effort, whereas soft HRM emphasizes the human dimension of managing people and focus on management practices with enhanced employee satisfaction. So hard approaches to employee engagement as those which are narrowly and instrumentally focused on individual employees' productivity and organizational performance objectives. Soft employee engagement approaches as those which put the emphasis on individual employees' experiences at work and see employee engagement itself as a primary objective. So now typical functional structure. So managing director, operations director, sales and marketing director, Sarah secretary, Zach salesman. So Bob, it's a typical functional structure. And you can see in this, there are different departments and under them there are team leaders as well. So, and this is typical divisional structure where is a managing director and directors of each divisions are given. So where would you put human resource in this structure? Would HRM remain centralized or devolve to the divisions? So you can see now as HR is devolved or HR is centralized. Now we have this matrix, typical matrix structure for project team. And now we have this managing the matrix, find evidence to support your experience of matrix organizations, good or bad. And we have now organizational culture. Simple definition is the way we do things around here. So the way we do things around here are by the companies like Betty Cafe, TGI Fridays, McDonald's. Organizational culture definition, a pattern of basic assumptions invented, discovered, or developed by a given group as it learns to cope with its problem of external adaptation and internal integration that has worked well enough to be considered valuable and therefore to be taught to new member as the correct way to perceive, think, and feel in relation to these problems. Then French and Bell's organizational iceberg. As you can see, there is a shape of iceberg. That's why it is called organizational iceberg. So formal aspects are goals, technology, organizational structure, policies, procedures, and product. And we have informal aspects also, in which we consider beliefs and assumptions, perceptions, attitudes, feelings, values, informal interactions, and group norms. So we have Edgar Schecin's layer of culture. In this, you can see the basic assumptions, what is respected behavior, who really makes the decision, should colleagues compete or collaborate. Then we have values and beliefs, honesty, effort, basis of reward and trust. And then we have artifacts and creations, so myths and stories, language, norms, taboos, symbols, rites, and ceremonies. So artifacts, practical way of understanding culture. That means language, dress code, office layout, rules. Who really makes the rule? Group down the pub, senior management, powerful union leaders. Why is culture a useful concept? Do all organizations have one? Does it make organizations better? Are some cultures better than other? Is there one best type of culture? Now we Peters and Waterman in search of excellence, lessons from America's best run companies, effects of our culture on organizational performance. Culture was the key component of performance in excellent companies. This work was popular at the time, many managers seeing it as a recipe for success. Later follow-up studies have cast serious doubts on the original findings as simplistic. Peter and Waterman, organizational culture, a key feature of successful firms, customer focus, sources of information, small autonomous units, independence and creativity, genuine belief, people most important asset, hands on management, tight but loose physically, but tight culture. Is culture, structure or culture more important? So this is the article on this. And now we finish. Here are some references. So we finish our week 6 slides over here. And thank you very much for listening. Hope you have understood week 5 and week 6 slides. Thank you.